Hey, it's Tracy Lee Jones, founder of the Feminine Business Model and creator of the Side Business Starter Series. Thank you so much for all the questions and appreciation. I've just totally loved receiving all the emails and comments from the last free video training. So just to recap, I've covered the best type of side business to start when you have a full-time job, and I gave you free access to the Idea Incubator to help you link your passions and all the things you love to do with tons of creative business ideas. Today I'm going to cover the number one mistake almost everyone makes when starting a business that leads to burnout and procrastination, and what you can do to avoid it. Solopreneur businesses are sprouting up all over the place with the low to zero cost to start up thanks to the technology advancements in literally the last 5 years. It has become totally doable and very easy to build a lucrative, passion-based side business while keeping your day job so that you can be more happy and fulfilled, so that you can have extra money to pay off your car or your mortgage or pay off those credit cards or just make extra investments, or so that you can take some really amazing dream vacations, or so that you can have a pink slip backup plan, or do what I did and just transition out of your day job. Let me tell you how I got started. There are 2 books that have helped to shape and change my financial life. Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and Tim Ferriss's The 4-Hour Work Week. The personal stories in both of these books really just opened my eyes and inspired me to possibilities beyond the vision that my parents had for me. These books introduced me to a whole new world and way of thinking about money and about my life and about my career and about my contributions. My dream had always been to climb the corporate ladder. I wanted to be a powerhouse businesswoman. Then I started looking at the executives and mentors around me at work. And what I was noticing was a trend that as people got promoted, they had more stress, became more intense, and had more health problems. Many were on medications for high blood pressure or dealing with stuff like cancer. And I started realizing that that was actually not the lifestyle that I wanted. So I started taking classes in things that I was interested in. And that led me to getting trained and taking workshops and just really tapping into my passions and having what I was learning, sharing what I was learning to people. I started to fail at all kinds of side business attempts. And finally I decided to take myself and my passion seriously, and I hired a business coach. Over the last several years, I've created online cleanse and detox programs. I've created ebooks and teleseminars and retreats and workshops and trainings. I've made real estate investments, and I've grown my one-on-one coaching practice to the point where I was able to transition out of my corporate job. So today I'm going to take one of the most valuable things I've learned and create a framework so that you can leverage it and not go through the expensive burnout that I went through. So let's go. There's 3 myth busters I want to go over. Myth number 1 is the economy is in a slump and nobody's buying. It's true that people are creating different spending habits, but the fact is that people are still buying. I've got a dozen mentors that have hit the $1 million mark in the last 2 years in the service and education-based businesses. In this economy, people are not happy. They want help, and they're hungry for and will pay people that they know, like, and trust to learn things that will make their heart light up. Health, finances, happiness, love. This is the perfect time to start a side-based business. You keep the security of your job while you explore how to make a business doing what you absolutely love so that you can create your own schedule and projects and deadlines. Myth number 2 that I want to bust is that it takes money to make money. Technology has revolutionized what's possible in the last 5 years. There have been so many free resources that people can't even keep up with them. I actually hired a guy last week to get me up to speed on all the latest apps and software so that I can be as productive as possible online, given all this great new stuff that's out there for my laptop and my smartphone. Besides the fact that technology is a total game changer for people starting a business, and the cost of entry is 0 to almost nothing, it actually doesn't take anything fancy if you're starting a service-based side business. As long as you have access to a phone and some email, that's all that you need to start your business, literally. You don't need anything fancy when you're first starting out. And the last myth, the myth I want to bust, myth number 3, is that starting a business takes too much time and energy. If you have 1 to 2 hours a week, then you have enough time for a side business. One of my clients in the suburbs of Illinois has started making wedding cakes on the side, and she charges $500 a cake. She just needs to make 4 cakes a month, so that's 1 a week, and that's an extra $2,000 in her pocket a month. I have another client in Philadelphia that is a woman's clothing stylist on the side. She's getting geared up to launch her services at $150 an hour, and if she just coaches 1 hour a weekend, that's an extra $600 a month. Where can you find an extra 1 hour in a week? So here's the number 1 mistake that most people make when starting a business. After reading the book Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, I learned that no matter what, I should always have at least 1 side business with my day job for an extra income stream, tax deductions, and a plan B. So for the last decade, I've played around with several different business models to find one that feels right. It took me lots of failures and many lessons learned to get into my groove and really find something that worked and that was profitable. I started out in network marketing, where I was giving free facials, free Arbonne facials in the women's bathroom during my lunch break and after work in Chicago. Then I moved to San Francisco and began teaching corporate yoga after work. Then I had a series where I worked with SCORE and the Small Business Association, and I worked for months to create my very first business plan. It was a tea house in downtown Sausalito. It was a beautiful plan that took me tons of time researching, but when I applied for the lease, I was denied. So then I focused on helping my partner at the time create his kayak fitness coaching business. Once he was up and running and thriving, I began creating an online bartering website. I dedicated every spare minute I had, and it was fabulous, and it also flopped. Then it started to seem like everyone close to me was pregnant, so I collaborated with a dear friend to start a prenatal retreat, which was fabulous, except that we had no signups and we had rented out this retreat space. All this time, I'm still going to my full-time job. So when my job moved to San Ramon, California 5 years ago, I began teaching detox and cleansing during my lunch breaks at work. And this ended up being very profitable. And as I got deeper into the health and learning about herbs and plants, I started offering energy work out of my house once a week during the weekend, which was also profitable. There are several other businesses after that and definite successes. So why am I sharing all of this with you? Because in every one of those businesses, I was focused on what I wanted to have, which was enough money to quit my full-time job so that I could do what I really wanted to do. Focusing on what I wanted to have determined what I needed to do, and that resulted in who I wanted to be. You see, the have, do, be model is one of the most common mistakes that people make when starting a business or any project. It focuses on wants and actions first, which in my case used up all of my precious time and tons of my financial resources. All that action, all that doing cost me thousands of dollars in websites and marketing and network resources. It cost me lost time with my friends and family, and all that action without results is the fastest path to burnout. And that leads to procrastination, because if you're not succeeding, you don't want to do it. So how can you avoid this mistake? The one thing that can completely transform how you approach and grow your business is a simple mindset change. This change is very simple yet profound when you put it into practice. So are you ready for this one change to make? Okay, here it is. Flip the have, do, be model to the be, do, have model. Focus on what you want to be, and that will determine the actions that you will take, and that will impact what you have. Turn your to-do list into a to-be list. I know this might not make a lot of sense at first, but I will tell you that when I am focused on who I want to be in this world, my business growth is phenomenal. I've been able to stop chasing all those shiny ideas, and my being is magnetizing people and resources that make the doing just so much easier. The having then just becomes an organic part of my business process. So let me give you an example of what this looks like. I want to be energized and enthusiastic and loving and inspiring and feminine. And as I have focused on my being and what it takes to show up in that way, people have been coming out of the woodwork to help me with all the doing parts of my business. Light attracts light, so this is about sustainability. We're not trying to work for peak and burnout here. So here's what I found. When you are in alignment with who you want to be, your business will feel like it's physically a part of you, and you become a magnet to others. So rather than feeling overwhelmed and heavy and frustrated about getting a business started, when your business becomes so in alignment with who you are being in the world, your business becomes this generator for your energy and inspiration, and it creates this internal feedback loop. So who is it that you want to be? Take a couple of minutes and do this now. This exercise is an awesome tool that will help to completely rewire how you show up in the world. And it's part of my step-by-step training program to help gain momentum around starting a side business. I've included the activity sheet here as a PDF. You can download it for free below and use it right now to get inspired. Do this now and take 2 minutes for yourself. Just print out the activity sheet and have fun with it. In the next free training video, I'm going to answer 7 of the most frequently asked questions that I get from clients through email or through phone calls on how to start the right profitable based side business. So stay tuned. If you're not on my list, put your name and email below so you don't miss that email, and do this now. Share your insights or a couple of words on who you want to be in the comments below, and I'll personally reply.